Hello, everybody. I'm Zadina Shakespeare.
And I'm Holly Melody.
Oh, hello. The rip is that thing up again? Yeah, that thing is acting weird. Rift. Rift. So, anyway, what do you want to do?
Well, I was thinking maybe today I could tell you about my backstory.
Oh, that would be splendid. Alright, so start.
Well, it first started off as two ponies. One was a stallion and one was a mare. The mare's name was Harmony, and the stallion's name was Musical Note, and they both had one thing in common. They both loved music. Musical Note loved to write songs and sing, and he also had a thing for playing the guitar. And Harmony loved to write songs as well, do the exact same thing, although she played the piano instead of the guitar. And one day they were both writing songs, and they were walking down the street, and they didn't realize that they were about to bump into each other. And then once they bumped into each other, they both looked into each other's eyes and realized that they were both made for each other. And then they started to go out. And then, after a while, Musical Note decided that they should take things a little bit further, and so he asked her hand in marriage. In marriage. Sorry, I guess I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. And she said yes, happily, and so they happily got married. And then after that they had a beautiful little daughter, and her name was Holly Melody. Holly Melody had the same thing in common with her parents. She loved to sing songs. Wherever she went, she would always have a little song to sing.
Can I just stop for a second?
Oh, yes.
I forgot to say something about my backstory. One point I get turned into a Draconicus.
Oh, yeah.
By Discord. Now, back on with yours.
Okay. And one day, Holly Melody was playing out in her backyard while her father was writing music and her mother was playing the piano. And all of a sudden, she had three little voices come from a distance, calling out her name. It was Octavia. And Vinyl Scratch and Wendy, Zadina Shakespeare.
I know this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they started to play with each other. And then all of a sudden, it started to rain, and the sky was going, very dark. And all of a sudden, a flash of lightning, a dark shadow appeared, a dark, big vortex or whatever appeared in the sky. And then, in a bolt of lightning, there was a dark shadow heading towards them. And a tall, dark mare
with holes in her
and tattered hair.
And a horn with holes in it. And wings of bugs.
Started to walk up to them. They were terrified. They didn't know what she was going to do with them, and they didn't even know who she was.
And when Shakespeare said, "What are you and who are you?"
And the
figure said, "I am Chrysalis, Queen of the Changelings."
And the little filly started to scream, and then all of a sudden she started to feed on Holly Melody's parents' love. and then Holly Melody tried to stop her, but then she killed her parents. And as Holly Melody lay there crying over her mother and father, the rest of the fillies tried to stop Queen Chrysalis, but then she took Holly Melody
and hypnotized Wendy Shakespeare.
And hypnotized the rest of the fillies. And then she took Holly Melody and she turned her into a changeling and took her back to the changeling hive. And as the day started to get more rainy, the three fillies went to get help. But when they got back, the day was clear again. The sky was shining with the sunlight, and the flowers were beautiful and all that, and all the birds were singing in the trees.
And Wendy Shakespeare were the dean of Shakespeare is like, where did she go? We have to save her. And she went off to try and find her.
And then, a couple of years later, the main Twilight Sparkle was in a tree house casting spells. And then the rest of the main six came in, rushing as quick as they could, and then Rarity fainted on the floor. And Pinkie Pie said that Queen Chrysalis was in Ponyville, and so Twilight had to head out. And since she was an alicorn and a princess and all that, she was much more powerful. And so she had got the elements of harmony and was about to send Chrysalis away for a very long time. But then Chrysalis demanded her to stop. But then Twilight said, Go far away from here. Go back to where you came from and don't come back for a long time. And so Chrysalis took those orders and went away. But unfortunately, she left one of her changelings behind. And the changeling was in Twilight's treehouse and started to pull books from shelves and wreck everything. Twilight was furious. She was going to use the elements of harmony on it, but then it acted like a puppy and started to lick Twilight, and Twilight was very confused, and so she read a book about changelings, and she said that sometimes changelings can be real. Some changelings once used to be real ponies, and so Twilight thought about all those changelings out there who would have been used to be ponies, but thought she must help this little changeling. So she found a spell in the Book of Changelings, and as Twilight read the spell, sparks started to fly around the changeling as it lifted into the air, and all of a sudden, bam! On the ground, standing on the ground, was a white-skinned pony with blue hair and light neon blue eyes, with a pinkish reddish bow in her hair, and she was very, very shocked. And Twilight and the rest of the main six was very, very shocked and confused at the same time. And then
Zena walked in the door and she saw Holly Melody and she hugged her.
And so,
can I tell you how I became a
and then after that, Holly Melody continued her journey with her friends Octavia, Zadina Shakespeare, and Vinyl Scratch, and soon became an alicorn and the Princess of Singing. Now you may continue, Kiara.
Anyway, before her, I became a princess too. The princess was acting, and soon after she turned back into a pony, she came to my house one day with Octavia and Vinyl Scratch. And one day, Discord came, and he kidnapped me. Well, technically it wasn't Discord, it was someone that looked like Discord. And he turned me into a strange, strange creature. A pony with bat wings. He turned me into a bat pony. and I had to serve him. Then one day, Princess Luna turned me back into normal, and I went back to my friends, and we were happy. Is that the end of your backstory?
Uh-huh.
Alright. What the heck? No. And that's the story of how that's our backstories and stuff and such. See you later. Bye.
Bye.